Hey everybody, welcome to another commentary done by Diggity. It's been a while. This is, of course, not StarCraft or League of Legends. This is Grid Legion, which is an indie game I assume most of you have not heard of. This is very much in the beta stage. It's been worked on for quite a long time. Winchester Games is attempting to greenlight this on Steam. This was presented to me by Fernando Restituto. I'm not sure how much of a solo project was for him. I know a lot of people have worked on it here and there, which are probably in the credits. But he originally presented this game to me in 2011. I gave a little bit of feedback, and now he's presented it to me again, and it looks extremely polished. I think some of the graphic assets still, like that graphic asset, I think is incredible. It's really, really cool level editor there. Some graphics I think are a little odd and distracting, which you'll see what I'm talking about in a minute here. But otherwise, it's a really interesting game, and I think if I was just to flat describe it, I would say it was like StarCraft meets Magic the Gathering meets like Shugo, which, and hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly, Japanese chess or something along those lines. It's very, very compelling, I think, and I think he's really onto something with this game. I am, however, very biased. Although I've played this, I kind of went in with. I'll talk about that in the run video, which will be coming up next. So these are the different cards that are kind of an option to you. I'm still learning about this game, and I've only unlocked, I think, 4 elements. This is nobility. I think this is like lumber or wood. Maybe Sylvan is what it's just flat called. This is the monastery, and I'm going to try to roll with some monastery cards, some Sylvan cards, and some nobility cards, and just see how I end up doing overall. And I'm actually going to tack in, so that adds 2 of that type of card into my deck. I'm actually going to throw a couple of these other cards just for the heck of it. I actually haven't played with all of these yet, so this is still a learning experience for me. And this is some of the distracting graphics I was talking about. Looks kind of like a weird flying tooth and exploding rose and whatnot. I do like this little graphic thing up here, though. That's where you can actually enter the deck builder, and it shows you what elements you're dealing with. So before further ado, and before I fall prey to what's that thing they talk about where you can skip to 2 minutes within any YouTube video and get to the interesting part, which is definitely the case here. Wah. So this is Grid Legion. I'll play, and let me show you guys the board and give you guys a general description of how this game works. So this is the board, which I think is absolutely lovely. I love the tile assets here and the way they look, and I'm not sure what it is about it. It just really reminds me of Japanese chess, effectively Shugo, and its design. So every map, not every map, most of the maps I've seen in the map design, you start off with these sort of little assets that are out there. There are 2 types of resources in this game. You have Aether, which is more your action points and lets you cast magic and draw cards and do things like that. And then you have money, which lets you pay for the cards and get new cards out there and things like that, and then I'll talk about that a bit in the game mechanics. But point being, it's valuable to hold gold mines and monuments. So monuments give you the additional action, gold gives you additional gold, obviously. This actually attacks your opponent if you can hold it. Before I get to that, I should actually talk about the direct objective of this game. The grid is obviously split in half along this gray line here. If I place a unit anywhere here and there's no defending unit, it attacks that red bar above, and that is his health. It's a little bit hard to visualize it in that regard, and actually, I'm trying to remember if it looked like this before, but I think it should be pretty clear as we play that that's his health bar, down here is mine, and that's kind of where it's a little bit like Hearthstone in that regard, at least reminding me that. These fortified towers are basically kind of placeholders for units. They're just to kind of protect these objectives initially. They do count as units of mine. As soon as one of these is out of the way, though, and if I have a unit on my side of this and he doesn't have a unit over there, so if I destroy that tower and I've got a unit right here, that means I take this gold mine down here. So that means this gold mine for right here is free for me if I can get a unit out there. This one right here is free for, sorry, yeah, so this one's free for me. That one's free for him, is that right? I think actually, never mind, reverse that, because I still would have to destroy this tower up here. I'm still learning the game. Anyway, each tile also, I should mention, has a different property about it. So swamp reduces the unit's movement. They can move around the map if you want them to. Water, you can't place anything on, so obviously this is a vulnerable square for me, and on the reverse end of the map you can see that on his side. The plains speed up production, which I'll talk about in a bit. Forests give you additional gold, so sometimes you want to place things on forests, but you know, hey, maybe there's some bad guys in the way and that's not strategically viable. Mountains give you additional attack power, things like that. So there's a depth of strategy as far as the board play itself. You can see on this gold mine expansion that underneath here is a mountain on the far right there. So let me go ahead and get into the actual gameplay as I just spent, wow, probably way too long talking about the actual grid and board, but hopefully you can follow me. So think about this in, and I'll just go back to the old, I want to turn down the volume, but I'll just adjust it after the fact. I want to go back to StarCraft as far as my comparisons. So think of castles and sanctuaries here effectively as barracks. So I can only produce the type of card from this draw action based on this type of thing I have out here. So I'll show you what I mean. So I'm gonna go ahead and place my castle. I'm gonna place it strategically early on the plains here because when you place something, it doesn't let you build it automatically. It takes a little bit of time to come up online, kind of like StarCraft. So the castle will let me build nobility-based units, which are in my draw pile here. And each of these basically represents a card. If they have a higher statistical chance, that basically means I have more of that type of card in my deck, which is probably foolish that I have so many cards in here. But you can draw two different things, by the way. Domains give you access to the castles, sanctuaries, things like that, so you can build things to actually access the units. So I'll try to get one of each, and place them out there. Draw actions let you actually draw kind of the attack units that go out onto the board and some of the spells and things. So time shift would be drawn from drawn action. The castle, the sanctuary would be drawn from draw domain. I'm going to start with castle because castle has those nobility units in there, and the nobility units are a little bit more beefy, and hopefully you guys are still following me and it'll become more clear as the game progresses. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of move forward. Looks like he placed an altar of flame in that backhand corner. So now that I have a castle down, you can see that I've got that little blue dot next to the ferry, and that gives me access to an ability unit. So I'm going to go ahead and draw a card, and I actually got a noble assassin. Now the thing with noble assassins, you can see the requirements. To play a noble assassin, I would actually need to have 4 of any type of these sort of power things out there. So, and you can see it provides the tree or kind of that empty bubble. So if I place 4, so 1 nobility thing of the castle and 3 of any other kind, then I can start playing noble assassins, but not until then. So a very powerful endgame unit. I was just a little bit unlucky to draw it right here. So instead, I'm going to go ahead and play my Sylvan Sanctuary right down the plains to try to get it online as quickly as possible. And oops, reserves are empty, and end my turn. And again, I'm still learning here, so might make some mistakes in descriptions. Looks like he's going to play some firelings, which are interesting because I've noticed most of the flame units actually have timed life, so they are only out on the board for a limited period of time. So here I'm going to do another draw action. This time I got a Squire Sword Dancer, which usually, so you can place 1 unit for 7, 2 units for 14. I've got 14, which is awesome, so I can actually pull out 2. And that puts them into my reserves. So now I can actually place them on the board. So I'm going to place them here to try to defend against these firelings. And what's cool about them is they actually do counterattacks. So they're really nifty in that regard. They don't have a huge amount of life, but they're pretty sweet in that regard at least. And I'm thinking of, you can also discard cards to get action points. So you get 2 action points for every time you discard. And I don't think I'm going to do that this turn. I think I'm going to go ahead and attack. As you can see, didn't do a lot of damage, just there. Another imp out there. Oh, shoot. So there he's using a spell to just wipe out my 2 units before these guys all attack again. So more or less, I am getting worked. And you can see, because he cleared this grid out, he's now starting to capture that gold mine. So I could be in trouble here. Particularly because, yeah, not getting a lot of luck here. I'm gonna discard Time Shift the Noble Assassin because I cannot play it currently. And keep drawing cards. Yeah, this is because I've created such a silly deck right now that I'm starting to pay for this. There we go, got a Squire Assassin. I can at least play 1. And what I really need to do is I need to So I'm going to take damage no matter what. I can't block this fireling. Their attacks go straight over these mines, so I'm going to take damage from both of them this next turn. I can't really stop that, so what I'm going to do is just place the Squire Assassin there, try to get the 2 gold from the Lush Forest this turn. So, because whenever you have a unit on the Lush Forest, you get bonuses. And I'll go ahead and attack. I'll do a little bit of damage, and I might be screwed here because, yeah, they're... The opposite side, they've already captured, looks like all 4 mines, and they're just casting bolts and wrecking my face with these units. Yeah, that's bolts and some good damage from those firelings. Let's see if I can hold out. So I'm going to try to build a treetop hideout. What that does is, and I'll place it there because I'll get some bonus. Draw some cards just to draw them. So what this does is it's kind of like a bonus barracks. Whenever there's about every 3 turns, it will produce a unit for me, more or less. And he's casting bolt every single turn because of all the gold he's got. I'm just getting worked. Yeah, I might be just dead in this entire thing because of my deck setup. We will see. Okay, I can place a Verdant Sniper. I can get 2. I got some reserves from this thing here, which is good. So let's place them there. Get a little bit of gold there. Get a little bit of gold here. I guess some gold there. And we'll see how it goes. So they're going to do ranged attacks into the towers. Not going to be enough to kill the imps, but going to do some actual damage to my opponent there. Yeah, I might lose all these units again immediately after that because of all the gold he's getting with those attacks, though. Yeah. At least he can only cast it on 2 of the units. So did I lose them? Yep, gone. Yeesh, this is brutal. Fortunately, I think yeah, so because they're wood, they don't take damage from water. That's something I just learned literally right this second. Okay, can't get the Noble Knight out yet. I'm gonna build a castle and hope for the best, because I'm just getting bushwhacked right now, and what I really need to do is just get some units out that I can actually place right this second. And this is where if I was strategically better, it would be working out more in my favor. So he's getting 12 gold each turn, which is significant, on top of all the territories he also holds. Looks like he's placed Earth Reliquary, Waterfall Haven, and I am just getting junked. Fortunately, this water, I can just leave this guy here, and I know he's going to be okay forever against these water guys. So now I can finally play the Noble Knights. Awesome, they're really good. Doesn't look like it can do a lot else, though. But then I also got a Sylvan Archer from that treetop hideout. Now that I've upgraded to the 3, you can see my 3 supply on the left there. Started to get those guys. What I might do is try to... I'm going to play some draw domains here and hope to get a monastery. There, I got my monastery. And then if I play the monastery, I'll be at 4 power and sitting pretty. All right, these guys are pretty strong defensively. So I'm going to place them. And if I recall, yeah, she's got pretty good attack and good range. So I'm actually going to place her here and let her just do damage to the enemy and get some gold for me. And attack. So there I captured the mine, which is good. Did some damage to him, heads up. He's still getting a crap load of resources, though, compared to me. As you can see each turn. Survive. Nope. Survive. And I'm still dealing damage on that edge. Fortunately, apparently I'm immune right there for reasons unknown. I have no idea why I'm not taking damage for that. Okay, let's get the monastery down. Try to transition into the late game. So I can't play any of these yet because I don't fulfill any of the requirements. I'd have to have 4 of these barrack-style units, either the monasteries or castles out on the board. Once this comes online in a couple turns, I will be able to place that Sylvan Catapult, but for the moment I can't. And I don't have a monastery up, so I can't play the Mindmeter Angel of Vigor. And I don't have enough money to place the barracks to do anything with that. So let's just draw. Sylvan Sniper, don't have the requirements. I'm gonna discard the Mindbender. Got an Honor Guard, that'll work. Can at least get an Honor Guard out. How do I want to play this? Still try to get some money out there. And see if I can hold out. So now I've captured a second gold mine. I'm continuing to do damage along this end because he's not defending himself, which is nice. But I think he's still going to be casting that. Oh, crap. So, now he's decided to bork me. Bork. Destroyed all of my buildings. And now I'm completely defenseless, more or less. And I can't produce anything. So I need to draw. So I'm just going to discard all of these, except that Angel of Vigor. And thing is he destroyed his buildings as well, so that's something at least. Play the monastery right here. Try to get my stuff back up in that regard. And wait. Unfortunately, I think he might have an ability where he can just rebuild his stuff de facto. We'll see. Yeah, it's gonna play rebuild. Which I don't think is an ability I have. I'm not positive. It's possible I do. Again, still learning in this game. So clever on his part, just wreck everything I've got. And then rebuild. Okay. Yeah, at least if I can rebuild, I don't know how. So I'm gonna draw one of these bad boys back. Place it in kind of a vulnerable spot right there, but it does capture something for me. And I need to, dang it. All right. Really want to play that Angel. Devout Paladin, yeah. This'll do. So Devout Paladins are cool if they survive, because whenever they attack something, they get some power bonus. I guess I shouldn't complain too much because I'm still doing base damage to his side, and I just took the lead in health versus health. But they have a spell, Angel Song, which lets you summon more paladins, which is pretty nifty. If they attack 2 in a row. If they survive. That Ifrit's doing huge amounts of damage to me. I need to take care of him. Sweet. Okay, so I can play... Oh, wait. Okay, I'm waiting. Okay, I can play Angel of Vigor. They're kick butt because whenever any... So this is kind of the card abilities. Anytime anyone plays anything on the board, I get some health, including myself. So more Devout Paladins. So now things are starting to roll in my favor. I will place... Capture myself some gold in defensive positions. So you can see they're giving me some health back. I don't know whether this will last or not, but place that paladin there. Hopefully the paladin will be able to attack and do some cool stuff for me in turns upcoming. These noble knights are doing really good work for me though. Okay, so no whammy, no whammy, no whammy. Kind of waiting for the like crazy attack or something. Okay. It's doing considerable damage, and yeah, just wiping me out here. Except on that water line, which is nice. I'm really hurting for money. Oh, never mind. Just kidding, just needed to wait a second. Okay. So now, I'm just gonna discard those both. Got Sanctuary, which is exactly what I was looking for. Place it down there. Now we're just gonna draw some cards. These guys I think are just generally kick butts. Put them on the bonus attack position. Now things are starting to swing in my favor. This will give me some golds. They have damage reduction, which is pretty sweet. And I'm going to attack. Now I'm actually doing pretty well, because I got those angels out there, which are healing me up. He doesn't have anything like that, it looks like. Got my gold mine. Tides have turned. Although I think they turned a little bit ago. And I'm still winging a lot of this, to be honest. Like, oh crap. Except you just captured that, and you got rid of all my production power again. Ugh. And I just lost, well, so that was counterattack, which is cool. I lost a bunch of units there. Okay, at least I'm getting some bonus gold here. And I got a lot of cash, but not a lot of action. So I can place that there, that'll get me some action back. I think that's all I can do this turn. So just when I thought I was doing okay, nope. Although he's still not defending himself along these lines, so I still might come out of this okay. And I still got both my angels out there. And it looks like all of them are doing damage, that archer and everything else. And sweet, just captured that monument, and I think that guy timed out. He's gonna get all his structures back here though. All I've got is that single castle. Yeah. While there's a little bit of a lull, I should mention, again, if you want to support this, go to Steam Greenlight and vote it up. And if you want to see the other commentary I made prior to this, I'll post it. I'm not sure it's as good, or even if this one is good. Oops, wait. Okay, there we go. Draw these out, because I can't do anything else, really. Get the monastery out there. Go ahead and discard that, save some action points for next round. Probably could purchase stuff, but the likelihood I'd be able to play it's not high, and I think I won this round anyway. Nope, not quite. Maybe. Yes. Anyway. GG, you are the winner. So anyway, that's Grid Legion. Here is... Okay, so actually we'll get the pure names here. Every time you win one of the little side battle things, you can unlock a domain. So Sylvan is the name of that. Divine is actually the name of that, so it is Divine and Demon. Fire, I haven't experimented with. Water, air, earth, nobility. Okay. So yeah, so deck builder, pure and simple in that regard. And you can actually create your own levels. I could see him adding new races into this. Actually, what I really want to see, and I think I mentioned this in the previous commentary, if it goes up as well. Yeah, actually, no, I don't think I'll put it up. Whatever. This would be a fantastic board game, I think. I think it would look really, really sexy as a board game. Seeing little models out there. If this doesn't get greenlit, so Fernando, if this doesn't get greenlit, definitely make a board game, because little printed models with things on this would be fantastic. It might be a little bit hard to track things. Anyway, check out Greenlit. This is again Steam Greenlight. This is again, gosh, I'm blanking all of a sudden. Grid Legion. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and watch the rant afterwards so I can explain my bias and things in that regard. Thanks for listening, everybody.